Okay, we're on pelvic floor day 5. This video is going to be all standing. All standing. Now I'm doing an exaggerated pushing my hips back and then tucking. So I'm arching my back and I'm putting my behind back and then I'm tucking. So I come push it back and then come in. I'm engaging all the muscles still. I'm holding them as tightly as I can. My core, I'm tucking my glutes and my pelvic muscles all at the same time. And my feet are about shoulder width apart. Now I'm putting my feet close together and I'm just going to rock my hips side to side with my behind out a tad. I'm doing it very exaggerated. I found that standing on the rebounder with your feet close together like that and doing these little moves really enhance it. So if you have a rebounder, it will be more beneficial if you use the rebounder. You'll still get a good workout on the floor, but being on the unstable surface really worked my muscles really deeply. So it's just that back and forth, and I'm tucked in. I'm tucked in with my abdominals, my glutes, and the pelvic floor. I'm going to alternate between these tight moves with my feet together and then with my feet apart. Now I'm just holding that and tucking slightly, coming in and tucking. See how I'm just tucking? Some of these moves are very slight and they're hard to see because they only have to be subtle because you're engaging all your muscles like this. Now I'm bringing my feet about a little bit more than shoulder width apart, and I'm going to come down like I'm going to squat down, and then I'm going to tuck in my abdominal muscles and arch my back. See how my back's kind of caved down, and then I'm going to come up again and tuck. I'm tucking in all my abdominal muscles, and I'm holding tight my pelvic floor each time that I come up. And I'm engaging not only my glutes, but my legs at the same time to get all those muscles to be worked in very deeply. I'm moving my hips side to side as I'm in a semi-squat bent over position, and I'm squeezing and I'm holding my pelvic floor. I'm engaging my glutes and my core, and I'm like fighting against my own body. I'm using my own body as the best resistance that I have. So you have to be really, your mind has to be there to really engage that and to keep it like that. Now I'm just going to bend over and stretch that out, and even when I'm stretching, I'm still engaging my core and my glutes and my pelvic floor. So now I'm doing the same thing. I'm moving a little bit faster, it looks like. I'm just going back and forth. This is really going to work your quadriceps. I really felt it in my calf muscles because of the position I'm in. I'm not completely standing and I'm not squatting all the way, but enough that it's really engaging all my muscles of my lower body and from my core down. Okay, another stretch. Come down as far as you can when you're stretching. And just hold that there. Hold the stretch. But keep everything engaged as you're still stretching. Now, I'm doing the back and forth again. I really worked up a good sweat with this one, and I really didn't do much before it. I really felt it and had a good cardio effect because I was really focused. That's the word I wanted to say, is focus. You have to stay focused. You can't daydream and start thinking about what you're going to be doing later or different chores or errands you have to do. You have to be concentrating. Just think about the movement and use your time wisely. Okay, now I'm bending over, but I have my feet farther apart, and I'm going to be going into little subtle, it's not lunges, but it's circles, but they're subtle. It's subtle, you can't. So I'm going to go all in one direction. So I'm circling and circling. As I'm circling, I'm holding so tight on. It's like I have to grip onto that. I'm gripping onto something, and I have to hold my body tight in that area. So circling to one direction, and then I should be going into the other direction. See, I stopped, rest for a second, and then I should be switching, going in the other direction. There, other direction. Okay, our legs are far apart, more than shoulder width apart, and I'm going to bring my inner thighs towards each other in a funny little move, it looks like, but I'm holding my thighs together as tightly as I can, and I'm tucking my glutes as I'm doing it. And I'm engaging my pelvic floor, and like I said, my glutes are tucking and I'm holding in my core when I'm tucking. That's the whole point of doing an abdominal tuck. I'm doing an abdominal tuck, a glute tuck, and I'm pressing my my inner thighs together, and I'm just holding that. Here's another balance one. I have my feet together, and I'm going to put my hands behind my back clasped, and I'm just bending forward, and I'm going to hold that and just hold that. I found I swayed a little bit. It was much more difficult than I thought it was going to be on the rebounder. So that's where the rebounder comes in. The rebounder is really going to work your core area because of the unstable surface. That's why it's advantageous to be using a rebounder, because you're not going to be as steady on your feet, and you have to use your core and hold your pelvic floor in a little bit tighter to keep your balance. This move looks kind of like a cat, I think. I don't know why, but at first I had a hard time. But I have to get, you push your knees forward and you bend back, and you have your arms behind you, but you're tucking in your glutes, you're holding in your core, and you're holding tight with your lower body all at the same time with the pelvic floor muscles. So it's like you're coming down and you're just pushing as hard as you can into the rebounder or the floor or whatever you're on right now. I'm going to be bringing my back leg and foot and crossing it in front of my front foot. And if you stand and try to balance, even on the rebounder, it's a little difficult, and I'm just going to bend over in a semi-squat. It's like I'm bending over, but I'm pushing my behind back. And then I'm coming back for a rest. And then I'm going to do that one more time. You can see I'm bouncing a little bit on the rebounder. So that's where you're really going to get the full benefit on the rebounder. And Just remember to keep all your muscles engaged. And now I'm just going to repeat that on the other side. I'm going to take my front foot over my back foot. Same thing. Okay, now we're going to be doing the similar, but I'm going to be, that we did earlier, but I'm going to be pulsing it. So I'm pushing my knees forward, I have my glutes tucked in, I have my abdominals tucked and my pelvic floor tight as I'm pulsing into that move. I'm pulsing into that move. Done pulsing, and I'm just holding that. You can see I'm holding everything very tight. And I'm just engaging my legs and my glutes and my pelvic floor and my abdominal wall. You should really feel this when you're done. Okay, I have my feet together once again. And I'm doing the circles with a half squat, I would call it, and I have my hands on my knees and I'm circling in one direction. It's much more challenging, as I said, on the rebounder. The closer your feet are together, and any kind of exercise, even on the floor, is more challenging than having your feet shoulder width apart or farther apart. You're more able to be steady. But when you have your feet together, that puts an added challenge on your body. So that's why when I do it on the rebounder, it's much more challenging. And that's what we want. We want to challenge our muscles. Okay, now I have my back foot is just on my toe, and I'm bent over and I'm pushing back and engaging all my muscles still, but I'm working more on the front leg. My back leg is I just have my toe on the rebounder. I'm not putting any weight on that foot at all. And I'm still engaging my core, my glutes, and my pelvic floor as I'm doing it. Now I'm just going to switch sides, and I'll have all my weight on my back foot, and my front foot is up on my toe, and I grab onto the rebounder. That really helps. That's another advantage of the rebounder. And I'm just pulsing down. I thought for the last minute and a half or so I would do some circles again, but I have my feet a lot farther apart, so I'm going to be circling, and you should be a little bit more familiar with that move when you circle forward and then to the side, all around in one circle. You have to really, if you look at my face, you'll see I'm grimacing. The facial expressions will say how I'm really working. Okay, now I'm going to go in the other direction. The other direction. Okay, the last hurrah, I'm going to have my hands above my head, and I'm going to do it that way. It just makes it a little bit more challenging having my arms above my head versus just sitting on my hips. So I'm doing it in one direction, and then I will be pausing and then going in the other direction. Keep everything engaged, all your muscles engaged that we're using, your glutes, your core, and your pelvic. Now I pause, now I'm going in the other direction.